Hello, my friends, and welcome back to our parables of Jesus. Can you believe it's August already? It's pretty amazing. And today, my silly little kitten wanted to join me. I don't know why. Maybe he's listening too. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you who I am. I'm Pastor Mark of Clinton Avenue Reformed Church, Bergenfield, New Jersey. All summer until Labor Day, we're talking about parables of Jesus. Maybe you've forgotten what a parable is. A parable is a story that tells a lesson, something we ought to learn. And today I'm going to tell you the story of the great wedding banquet. Have you folks ever been to a wedding? I hope so. Weddings are fun. Weddings are when people who love each other want to spend the rest of their lives together. And of course, they celebrate that with a very, very big party. Now, sometimes when we're doing wedding invitations, we send out a date ahead of time to let people know. And then a little while later, we send out the formal invitation. We want to make sure that people clear their calendars so they can come and enjoy our wedding. Well, Jesus told a story about a man who was having a big wedding. He wasn't just a man, he was a king. And this king was having this grand wedding, and he had let everyone know ahead of time what day it was. And then on the day of, he sent out his servants with reminders. And they said, "Come on, the wedding banquet's ready. It's all set. Come on in." Well, some of these people said, "Well, I'm kind of busy right now. I don't have time to go to the wedding, but thank you anyway." The servant said, "Really? You don't want to go to this glorious wedding banquet the king is throwing? You got to be kidding. What reason could they not want to go to this great wedding banquet?" Well, some people said, "I started a new business. I don't have time for this." Other people said, "Well, I just recently married and I want to spend my honeymoon. Can't go. Sorry." Other people said, "Well, I just bought new animals and I need to take care of them now. Sorry, can't come." Well, the king was a little miffed. So he said, "Fine. Those people I invited don't want to come. What I'm going to do is I'm going to invite other people to come." And he had his servants go out to people who hadn't been invited the first time and said, "Hey, come on in, have a wedding banquet." These people probably said, "Who, me? I didn't even know the king." But they said, "Come on into the wedding banquet." And they did. But there was still room to spare. So the king sent people out even further and got other people and said, "Come into the banquet." And they kept inviting people until the wedding banquet was full. I don't know what those first invitations were like. I don't know what those first invitees were like. They would rather put business and cows ahead of celebrating a banquet with the king. To me, that sounds a little crazy. What's the point of the story? The point of the story is the king is just like God. God wants us to have a big celebration with him. God really wants to be part of our lives and want us to be part of his life. And so God invites us and says, "Come in, have a party. Come in, have a party." And some people don't. Some people say, I don't have time to go worship God in church. I'm busy. I've got sports. I've got my clubs at school. And God says, really? Well, okay, then. He doesn't beg us to come in. He simply invites other people. And guess who loses? Those of us who say, no, God, we don't have time for you. There's something more important in our lives than you, God. Well, what do you think? Is God worth being important in your life? Suppose we died today and we went and saw God and we have not ever gone to church to pray to him. We've never gone to church to sing praises to him. We've never read his book, the Bible. How do you think that's going to go when we finally meet God in heaven? Do we really think that it's going to be a happy reunion? Or when we die and meet God, will we say to him, wow, let me into the party? Do you think God might say, who are you? You've never wanted to party with me when you were alive. Why would you want to now? Would we be let in to that big banquet in heaven? Or would God shut the door for us? I hope you think about that. God wants you to share life with him. God wants to spend time with you. God wants your life to be full of joy and God's presence and God's peace. Are we accepting that invitation? Or do we actually think there's something more important than God? God who created the world, God who created us, God who wants to love us and wants us to love him. Please think about it this summer and this new year coming up, this new school year. What's more important than God? I hope you will think about it. And you know what? If you accept this invitation, we have a seat ready for you in our church. God would love to see you there. This is Pastor Mark of Clinton Avenue Reformed Church, wishing you a blessed week and inviting you to come celebrate the great banquet with our God. God bless you.